Yeah, diner gift card to which diner?
Zach took his ring too.
Yes, and his fraternity ring.
Yeah.
Zechariah, you would recognize the name of the diner as one of the diners that is very close to campus.
Oh yeah, I've eaten there a couple of times. They've got decent food.
We'll go ahead and call it the Campus Corner. Definitely not because I'm stealing a name from someplace I know.
Well, no one is surprised by this name.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so story checks out. Okay, looking at this machinery, and I was there. We should probably do some research to see if we can identify what any of these grotesque figures or creatures are.
Not sure where we do that kind of research.
I can tell you exactly where to do this research. At the Tricoca Library, where we appreciate books.
Da da da!
We could try the university library as well.
We could also do that. The only thing I'm worried about there is, when that guy comes out of his hypnagogic state, he is probably going to attempt to get to civilization to make a phone call, and that only happened a few hours ago. So they've probably reported an incident by now. I'm not saying you shouldn't go do research on this in the university. In fact, that's probably the best place to do research. But I would caution you that that's also where the Zetas make their own base. And any information about what these things actually are would be under double scrutiny. So I'd fear for your safety.
Fair enough.
I mean, do you think you could handle yourself if you had to deal with these folks? They sound dangerous.
I mean, I've got PK abilities. I'm not exactly the best fighter in the world, but I can hold my own in a scrap.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Also, actually I don't want to give you a gun because you don't know how to use one.
It's like I've got a knife. Don't worry.
Don't worry, I got a gun.
Who else can blend in with the campus people?
I can.
I'm also very good at not being seen if need be. So.
Well, it sounds to me like the two of you should go do research at the campus. Who does that leave?
I could go with them. Wanda offers. Could be something fun to read. And looking over at Wanda, she seems like she's probably about the same age as Zechariah, really.
But I'm leery about putting Wanda in danger. She's got, we don't call it post-traumatic stress disorder. She's got shell shock from her previous experiences. I'd be worried that if she got into an altercation, it might do irreparable harm to her mental state. Not to mention her. Yeah, so Cody. Oh man, I always have trouble finding who's voicing and who their characters are in the Roll20.
Yeah, so quickie, the volunteers for the Tricoga University Library are Zechariah and James?
And Cody. I will go in her stead.
Right. The Brain Trust?
All three of you want to go to the library?
Yeah.
Dante, you don't actually have research, do you?
9.
Okay, who actually has the gift of research?
Me.
Zechariah does, yes.
Okay. Well, I think James should come with us to the library because he's got research, and then you two and Wanda should go to the university. Oh, and Dante, you should also come with us to the library because do you actually have academics?
Yes.
Yeah, you should come with us to the library.
So, who isn't going to the library, or are you suggesting the municipal library for youth?
The municipal library.
All right. So
I mean, we might find something out there that might be useful. We have photos and we have our own personal experiences. Plus, also, while we're there, Dante could also do research on what would be good. We could also visit the Chamber of Commerce and see if we can find a digging.
All right. So does this current organization look right? Zechariah and Edmund going to the university, the rest of you going to the municipal library, and other government functionaries.
Well, they're taking Wanda with them too.
Are we taking Wanda with us to the university?
Do you guys want to? I warned her it was dangerous, but I can't stop her.
Well,
It's
if
up
you
to
say
her.
so.
Zach doesn't mind taking her along.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just as long as you understand that these people are dangerous, they're willing to defile corpses for their own vile purposes, and they're willing to make corpses.
What's Wanda's effective age now?
Probably about 19 to 20.
Okay.
Effective age? What the hell does that mean?
Well, it means that 40 years ago, last I saw her, she was like 12. So, that's what I mean by what's her effective age right now.
Oh, wow.
She's not like 50-something to 60-something like I am.
I didn't realize she was 40 years displaced in time. You realize she might not know what electricity is or what a car is.
You know, she's been
I've
in
had
town.
a very strange couple of weeks, really.
She's been in town on her own for a long time. We left her that way, you remember.
Right. She might have... Wow, I can't believe Why should the person displaced 40 years in time to university? I'm sure she'll fit right in.
We take it to a frat party.
Well, I
Yes.
always wanted to apply later. But...
Remember, this is Elbert's sister, Elbert, the grown-ass man that threatened me with a shotgun. This is his sister.
No, I didn't quite realize that. So I always want to apply to university, except it was 1880, and women couldn't even vote yet.
Wait, would she be allowed on campus?
Well, sure. Just take the time displaced person with you. I'm surprised she even knew gasoline was a viable accelerant.
Oh, my brother told me all about it, really.
Your brother works at a
So
garage.
fascinating, honestly.
You guys have a fun time at the university. Try not to get all of you killed.
Should I leave the gas can in the car? Or...
And it's not that she's
That's probably a good idea.
it's not that she's
Oh,
time
okay.
displaced. She's been around for 40 years. She just hasn't aged.
Well, she was in the cave, right?
Yeah, but I just mean that she's not displaced. Means something different, is what I'm saying.
I understand. So she's
preserved.
She's well preserved, but spent basically 40 years of time in a subterranean hellscape cave.
Right, she's like time isolated. Because she's been maturing all that time. She's still a person.
This is just so weird. All right, let's. That I think is a good plan. So be wary. Yeah, just be careful. I know you guys can handle yourselves. At least it's not Osborne.
All right. So the group splits up into two different libraries. Let's check out the Library Appreciation Society group first. James, Dante, and Claudia.
Okay, I think we should assist James because he's the one with research.
Okay.
So, in other words, we start looking in books, photos, trying to reference what these symbols are, creatures,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
I'll go ahead and let you ask specific questions after we see the roll, and we'll see what kind of answers you can pull up.
Wait, that's not what it's called, is it?
Okay, so what? So, wait, I wasn't done yet.
Okay.
What do I roll? Academics, mind.
Oh, when we're going to go ahead and do research, it will of course be mind and academics, and you can apply your research D12 as well. And if anyone assists you, they will give you D8s.
I have successfully assisted, so that would be, it's going to be your mind and academics, yep, and a D12. And you get another bonus D8 from me, as you send me to go weed out books that aren't worth our while. And I assume Dante gives you another bonus D8, so it's another extra 2D8, so just go ahead and roll those.
But it's not Library Appreciation Society, is it? I thought it was a different name.
The Book Appreciation Society.
Yeah, Griff said library. It's like, wait, that's not right.
Well, apparently we're just moral support. But hey, that's still 3 successes, so I'll still take it.
That is true. So, what questions and in what order would you like to try to ask? You found a large number of reference books, and hopefully some of them will have the correct information.
James, you're the team leader. Ask away.
Okay, I'll. Okay. What exactly are we looking for again?
So we went to a weird lab and we saw a weird machine, weird creatures, weird aquarium, weird symbols, a weird creature, because that wasn't a human corpse, that was a weird corpse. We saw lots of weird things while we were. So you can ask questions about what those things are,
Okay.
or the salt circle, or anything that we saw.
Okay. Okay. Let's start the. All right. Did any of the weird stuff we found down there in our last trip correlate to anything that has been known before?
Make it more specific for me so I can narrow it down at one at a time and give you a response.
Okay.
Which weird thing?
Okay. It's a lot to take in. I can't. I don't know where to.
I know. Suggestions are welcome, of course.
Yeah. What do you think is the most important thing we?
Most important to me is the weird door with all the symbols on it and the salt circle.
Okay, I'll look up. Okay, salt circle.
All right. So, quite simply, looking it up, circles of salt have been a staple of protective magical practices since honestly, since people found salt and it was valuable. Honestly, anything valuable tends to make a circle and is suddenly protective, especially if it's gold, salt, or something else. Salt was more popular around the time of the Roman Empire and has kind of infected basically an entire region of the globe with that superstition. Even Puritans and other colonists to the Americas thought if you just took some salt, you could ward off some demons. The inscriptions in particular are very hard to reference, but you think they might be Arabic in origin, of all things. And from your translation, taking a look at the photographs you took, which phenomenal work on those photographs, you can translate it directly that these are hymns of protection and warding. Specifically, that this door shall never open and shall hold the strength of steel. That is what was on the parchment on the iron door.
Weird.
Huh.
Now, James, you're a professional debunker. Does this stuff actually work, or is it just a bunch of superstition?
All of it is just a bunch of superstition.
To be fair, you could always go back and try the door.
Well, see, that's the point. It's superstition. Nothing came bursting through the door, so in theory, the symbols work. Because if the symbols don't work, no one's alive to talk about it. Okay, so the symbols don't tell us what was in there. All right, what else do you want to know about, James? You saw a lot of weird, crazy stuff today.
Wait, didn't Dante? Wait, out of character. Didn't Dante, have a vision thing where he saw what happened to that girl and stuff?
What about it?
You don't remember that? Did you never?
No,
tell
we're
me?
out of character. You asked me out of character. I'm asking what you want to know about it out of character.
Did Dante tell anyone?
He doesn't tell anybody he has visions. He just warns people about things. He didn't say, I saw this in a vision. He says, hey, if you do this, be careful of...
No, not the visions. The one where you looked back into the past.
Yeah. Oh, back into the past? Oh, did I?
Twice.
No, I mean, I know that I did. You're asking if I told anybody. That's what I'm wondering. I don't think I did. Because it's not something I normally do. I don't share people with people that I'm magical.
Okay, just wondering. Okay, because I was hearing Claudia saying, "Oh, I don't know what's protecting behind there," and I out of character definitely know what's keeping behind.
Well, I mean, because, yeah, I know from my vision what I saw, and I don't recall sharing that with anybody because it's not really new news.
Test. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, what's the next question then?
Oh, well, I'd like to know what the machine is.
Okay, machine. And next, probably the spider.
That's a really good question.
Wait, which machine? The white noise machine, or?
No, the Vril extracting machine.
All right. So you're trying to look up and see if there's anything similar.
Actually, the radio is a much better question. I forgot all about that.
That's what I meant by the white noise machine. I don't know what you called it before. Soul radio?
Spirit radio. It was a popular scam in the 1920s to claim that you could hear spirits through the radio.
It's funny. The spirit
And
radio,
of course,
turned into the white noise machine. Just marketed it differently.
What exactly are you going to ask? Emmett has a completely new and modern book she's just added to the library about spirit radios and the current and ongoing research.
So, spirit radios or the Vril?
I think we should ask about the spirit radio because we have Mr. Gray working on the Vril extractor.
Okay, spirit radio it is.
Okay, well, what are you asking exactly?
Yeah, we already know what it is.
Well, we assume it's a spirit radio, but I keep calling it a spirit radio, but we don't know that's what it is.
Okay, I'll see if the configuration goes with others on it.
All right. So, as a professional debunker, with a limited knowledge of radios, as well as a radio manual, and the new Spirit radio manual you have with you, it would appear that the pieces that you have gathered up are merely of an ordinary radio. There are no special parts, nothing that would seem to indicate anything supernatural about the device itself. And in fact, you actually feel very equipped to debunk anyone using a spirit radio at this point, as you can notice all the errors and things missing in their own diagrams about basic radio function.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, this so-called spirit radio thing is a fraud. Ugh.
It's not a fraud.
I believe you. It could also just be a broken radio that they took apart because they were bored, or maybe they were trying to build a spirit radio. Who knows? They're crazy people living. They're crazy college students holed up in a basement hideaway past a secret lab, and apparently in a way that no one would even miss them for days on end.
Okay, so let's look up those creatures.
Yeah, let's find out what those things are.
All right. With 3 successes, you managed to find, honestly, not a whole lot about them. In fact, there appears to be no real reference to them. However, there are some paleontological records of it, or of creatures of similar shape, maybe with similar mouths. They're not exactly the same, and none are reported to suck the life out of people, as far as anyone knows. Of course,
but not
if they're ancient creatures, they seem like they are similar. Of course, different. They are different species. Maybe they're of a similar branch. Maybe they evolved differently. Maybe they're actually a ancestor of the trilobites.
Wow, an actual cryptid.
Of course, by the fossils, everyone simply assumes that it's dead, and there's no possible way that they could learn more without more fossils.
Hey, that has been proven. That the fossil record's actually valid. The Earth's only 6,000 years old.
Not according to the gosh, what was the London Society that started kicking that off called again? I forget. Well, these records seem to try to support their thesis about the age of the Earth. They suppose it could even be up to 4 billion years old.
And I think of the possibilities of that. We're just a speck in the speck in.
The idea that creatures could be driven to extinction either by natural events or man-made causes, perish the thought. The Earth has limitless resources to be exploited.
Said like the modern industrialist.
I mean,
All right, so we got at
the
least a couple
dodo's
good
already
questions.
extinct.
It's been a few hours of you all here investigating, searching for answers. You could spend some more time continuing to ask questions if you like. You have all the research and books that you think you need right now. And it doesn't sound like you're unsatisfied with your answers either. Is there more questions you would like to ask about what you've discovered and what you can research?
You guys have more questions?
Not really.
Really? All that we saw. Dante, do you have any more questions?
Well, what do you
Nothing
mean?
that can
Well,
be
it's
answered
like,
by
okay,
a book.
let's. I wasn't really paying attention.
I mean, like, you saw tentacles come up out of a hole, and then you got mugged by a three-eyed. Well, I'm yelling at Dante. You know, in a whispering fashion in the library. You got mugged by a three-eyed man, and then you saw a tentacle come out of a hole, and you're saying, "I don't think any books will help us about this."
I did not get mugged, for one. For two, I did not see tentacles come out of the ground. You're making that up.
Oh. I thought you said you saw something come out of the hole.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, then you get...
Did something come out of the hole?
No.
The three-eyed, one-horned man accosted you with violence and took your possessions. That's getting mugged.
I did not get mugged. I fell into the dirt. The shovel was out of my grasp. He picked up the shovel. At no point was physical contact made between the two of us.
Sorry, you got robbed.
Emmett comes by with a plate of raisin cookies and sets them on the table with you as you research. Oh dear, you got mugged? Should I get a police report for you?
No, it's all right. It's just a flesh wound, I say, because where did I get stabbed earlier?
I think in your side, actually.
Yeah, it's all right. We deal with rough customers when you're out appreciating books.
Oh, of course, and she'll give you a wink, like knowing you're up to something, but let you keep it until she hears more about it later.
Ran into another misguided fool who wanted to use the Vanavar system over the Dewey.
You know what? I am stressed right now. I'm going to cross the distance between me and Claudia. I'm going to put both of my hands on her shoulders, stare at her in the eye. You are testing me, Claudia. I must know something.
What makes you think that in all of these books and all the history, someone else might have had a similar problem that you've had? It's been going on for hundreds of years.
What Claudia says right now is inconsequential to me. I just need to know from you, Raph. If I cast a spell on you, are you going to resist?
What are you casting on me?
I want to cast Cosmic Awareness on you to know what your place in this universe is.
Oh, well, I suppose I can't stop you from doing that. I am great.
Cosmic Alignment. Sorry, it's the one. I want to try and cast that because I feel so tested right now that I need to know that you're worth investing in.
I trust that. Well, not if you're testing it. You should ask my permission first.
Right, but I can't because I can't let on that I'm magical.
If you can't ask my permission, I have to resist. I don't know what you're doing.
All right.
If you don't trust me enough to ask my permission, I don't trust you enough not to resist.
All right, that's then I storm out then.
All right, so what are you casting?
Well, I'm not casting anything because I didn't ask your permission. I'm storming out. I can't. I'm not Ender.
Rational.
Yeah, I'm also not rational. I'm essentially a childhood boy that almost got killed by an axe.
No, you're having an emotional reaction.
Yeah.
I'll watch you leave and sigh resignedly.
But
Dante, I can't know the horror that you've experienced.
Well, that's what I mean. I am essentially still that childhood boy that almost got killed by an axe and has been reliving this post-traumatic stress for the rest of my life that I've now been forced to reface.
Yep.
Oh dear, he didn't even have his cookie.
I'm afraid that the pain that he's suffering is beyond the help of Raisin Cookie.
All right. So are you going to continue looking into questions, or?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure there's much more research we can do unless you want us to roll. I'm thinking we're probably, getting somewhat exhausted because we did like spelunk all day, carry heavy equipment, drive home, develop photographs, and then come all the way here to the library. That's a pretty full day.
Right, it's getting towards evening. You could stay here longer at the library if you want. The question is, are you going to burn midnight oil for it?
Well, the question is, what is James going to do? Because James, you're a debunker, not necessarily a reporter. Do you want to collate all this information for your own private journals so that later, when you're horribly murdered, we can find your journal entry? Oh, that's right. We have to go around scattering your journal entries all over places randomly so other people can find them piecemeal as collectibles. That's going to take all night.
And I go, no.
Well, perhaps you're an old school person. You just write your journals in a random order as a copy protection scheme. No, more seriously. I mean, do you want to record all of this for your notes for a book that you'll publish later, or did you want to sell a story to a newspaper?
That's. This is for academic report.
Okay, so why don't we go ahead and collate the information we have and make notes for your paper then, and we'll go.
I can make copies.
Oh, photostats? Well, we have just a bunch of handwritten, scribbled notes. I guess we'll copy the relevant pages from the books, and then go retire because hopefully the rest of them at the university are fine. I'm sure Dante will come back to us when he is feeling better.
Indeed. And Dante, where exactly are you going?
I gotta go to the theater. I gotta go to the other theater.
Alright, so we'll go and pop you at theater. We'll cover you in a bit then. Let's go ahead and catch up the other three on time then. The other three, you are heading towards the Chircoga University Library. Completely different. On the way in, Zechariah. You are familiar with the university, and you can actually see that there is a car pulled out in front of the Zeta Alpha Phi house. And it looks like someone is moving stuff in.
Oof. Well, we know that they're up to something.
Let's see. I'm just scrolling to see if I can find this information. Because I wrote down. Here we go. They are. Would you like to make an observation?
Sure, why not?
Mind observation. All right. Presuming that you don't necessarily like hang out around and you're actually like going into the campus, you actually spot a few other people that you sort of recognize as fraternity members, and it looks like they're actually hauling some stuff over towards the biology department. Additionally, hanging just outside the door of your own department, the Department of Health and Psychology today, you see two other people, two very complete strangers. A cheetah and a bat who are both in heavy coats despite it being sort of the middle of summer. It appears they're sort of giving each other small talk and reading the bulletin boards outside. They definitely aren't students or professors.
That's a little bit weird. Not entirely sure what to make of that. I guess Zach is just kind of he'll wave Edmund and Wanda ahead to the library and say that he's going to catch up with them. He wants to watch these people a little bit further and see maybe if he can figure out what they're up to.
All right, so you're going to keep a little bit of an eye on them. Which group of people?
I mean, we already know that the Zetas are people of interest, although now we've got weird people in heavy coats that don't look like that obviously don't look like they belong on campus.
Okay.
So
which group are you after then?
That's a good question.
I'll let you take some time to decide on that.
think-
Edmund, you are with Wanda as you head into the library, and she seems absolutely ecstatic at the sheer size of it. Oh, where should we begin? Oh, there's etymology over here. Oh, there's a whole section.
I'm gonna pretend like I know what that means.
She'll pull a book off the shelf and show it to you, and it's like bugs of the world.
Ah, bugs. Okay.
And in fact, such is the title of the book as she starts opening it up and looking at the pictures.
Do we see anything that kind of resembles the spider? Or a creature, I should say. I'm sorry.
Would you like to go ahead and make a research roll?
Sure, let's do this.
All right, Wanda will go ahead and attempt to assist you. She's going to use mind and academics. She will give you an additional D8 as well.
Thank you. It's academics, correct?
Say that again?
Oh, you want
Yeah.
us to academics, correct? Okay.
Yeah, mind, academics, and your research.
And the
And
extra
D8.
D8.
Great.
And the D12 from research too, right?
Yes, sorry.
Yep. That is another 3 successes. All right, so let's line it up. Give me a specific question.
Since I am not familiar with bugs, can I go by picture? Given it,
Oh, that's okay. I can tell you about all the taxonomic groups.
does this look like any of them? And I show her a picture of the.
No, that's not right. No, this is it's definitely not a beetle. It definitely doesn't have the same sort of claw structure. Maybe it's actually some type of crab. And she'll go out and pull out a different book and go through the pictures of animals there. It's like, yeah, it's a lot more like this, and then she just suddenly goes quiet as she just sort of stares at the claws.
um Observation, see what's going on.
She just is sitting there, just a little bit shocked. You can sort of
Not
notice like her hand trembling a little bit as she stares at the picture of a trilobite or an artist's representation of one.
not to be funny here, but she's like in shell shock.
Would you know? She's looking at it.
I'm gonna lightly take it from her. Are you okay? Then casually
Yeah,
look at the.
yeah, I'm fine. I think that's it.
Do you have any memory that could possibly help us? I don't want you to relive anything you don't want to, but anything could help.
No, it's like that thing, but it's not. I know very well what its claws look like. That's not quite it, but it's very, very close.
With that, I'm gonna help her like find a seat to get comfortable. I assume they have like little like softer seats, not the normal wood seats we have in universities.
Right. You find like a nice wicker seat with a pink cushion. You know, just set her down in it.
Right. And I'm gonna ask her. I said, we need to know anything that you could tell us to help us so that this doesn't happen to someone else.
Right. Right. I never saw much of it. There's never a body to it. Just the claws. Just always claws.
Can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Can you just close your eyes for a moment?
Oh, okay.
And now just think of the claws. What are they doing? What are they touching you? Are they doing weird like shakes? What are they doing?
I'll go ahead and allow you to roll will and questioning to sort of see if you can get her to actually respond to these.
Sure. I'm basically doing a criminal minds on her. Like sentencing, you know what I mean?
Right. You're trying to like guide her and keep her calm and have her
Right.
remember things.
And you said sense and questioning, correct?
Will and questioning.
Well, questioning. Do you mind if I add my career die because is this reporting? Like me trying to
Your
get the
reporter die
facts and
already
stuff?
gives you questioning, doesn't it?
Yes. Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
There you go. See, it already applies. Easy.
Hey,
I think that is 2 successes. Is that all the dice?
yes, the two that you told me to roll.
All right. She'll just sort of shake a little bit. What question are you going to try asking her specifically?
Specifically, these claws, what are they doing to her? Are they doing anything to like elicit something from her, or because she keeps
The,
on remembering the claws? What are they doing? It's
the,
hard
the,
to remember them. So
the
many.
axe woman, she just sort of clams up, and then and then
I'll
we,
hold her paw. Go ahead.
we the claws never really did a whole bunch, but she would bring us to them and, put us on them, and it would feel like everything was lost. It I and then she just sort of clams up again.
After this experience happens, do you remember any of it, or is
No,
what?
we always woke up again back at our little campfire. No one ever really saw what happened. We just sort of would wander back.
Mhm.
I think maybe she knew, but I don't think she would want to say. I don't think she wanted to know.
So all this time, were you alive? Were you like in stasis,
I
or
I I, I don't know.
I'll give her a hug at this point.
Yeah,
I
she'll
can't
she'll
help it.
definitely she'll definitely accept a little bit of affection. You do still have more research on the table. Are there more questions you want to ask?
I want to know more about this thing that she says it looks like. What's it about? Is that?
She is unwilling to open up much further without
Oh no,
psychological treatment.
no! I'm talking about the book. I'm looking at the book right now. I'm letting her have
Yeah,
a
the
mental
book
health
is
day.
definitely showing off a trilobite. Like the other group, you've managed to find a connection. It does seem similar. It could, in fact, be of a similar species, or maybe a branch of it, or perhaps it is even older than this. 4 billion years old, can you even imagine?
I want to see if they have any information about this, I guess, strand or type or what happened.
There appears to be no fossil records similar to the things that you've seen.
Huh? Like they're just is it any or they're missing?
It would probably be an even older fossil, so people would have to dig even deeper. Of course, that's if you believe that these fossils weren't put there by the devil.
Right.
Uh, do you have any further questions? Another topic or another thing you want to know from what you've seen? And the things you have photographs of.
I look at my photographs to see what I have right now to work with.
Yep. Anything you saw down there. Do dee do ba do do boo boo. Do 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 do. Nothing.
Oh, you know what?
The
How
what?
about that statue?
All right. So you're gonna try looking up the statue and its iconography.
Right. I just remember that in my notes.
All right. With 3 successes and a picture of the statue itself, you can actually line it up to a number of knowledge and water deities circulating around the Mediterranean. Thoth, of course, would be among them. As well as some older semi-Babylonian ones. It appears that the oldest name on record would appear to be a mixture of different cuneiformic languages that might in English be pronounced Zafan. It appears that perhaps this was some sort of deity of knowledge, or at least maybe a prototypical archetype thereof.
Like knowledge of the ocean or knowledge itself?
Knowledge itself.
I just want to make sure, sorry.
So it does appear in ancient times, and there are stories, of course, of such characters roaming the earth, looking for knowledge, and of course, bringing such technologies to their supplicants. Prometheus even could be an archetypal of this. Of course, this is all academic speculation. There's not a whole lot of records. There's exactly like 2 texts. One of them is like half broken clay tablets. And the translations could always be bad, but that's about as far as you get on it. This could be a very old figure. As old as civilization.
Does this like have its like full story or bits and pieces, or how much information can I get? Like, can I get like a timeline of his like reign, or?
It doesn't appear as if the character ever reigned or anything. It just simply appeared one day, brought knowledge, collected knowledge, and that appears to be the basic original sort of story for it.
Did it say what sort of knowledge it looked at specifically, or just the culmination of knowledge?
That's ultimately sort of the culmination of it. The further you get from the original source, the less it seems like the thing that you saw down below.
Gotcha.
So if you want to go and head to the ancient city of Ur and do your own archaeological excavation, maybe you could find more answers.
I talked to the lady in black about that.
She'll fund anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have another one? You've been spending a good bit of time in this library.
How about that? No. Do I have that radio on me still? Because I did take the broken radio.
The other group had the radio, I think. Or at least
Oh.
they're researching it, so I
Yeah.
presume they have it at the moment.
Well, I have it in my inventory, so I'm not sure if I handed it over to them.
It
I
doesn't
could-
particularly matter, but I mean, they've already researched this subject. Would you like to
Right.
ask a different sort of question?
I tried to say a pictogram of it, just simple, nothing too crazy.
Okay, so I mean, you have that information. What do you want to do?
Is anything this what I have with me not go? So, because I do have cracked with photography as well, so I don't know what pieces.
What are you asking here?
With these pieces of the camera, is there anything that typically shouldn't go, like missing, like, oh, this rare metal or this screw shouldn't
No,
go here,
much like the other group, nothing seems to be missing. It seems to be an ordinary radio as far as you can tell.
Okay.
And of course, this being a serious library, there is no such thing as spirit photography. Such nonsense is not allowed within these walls.
Right.
Or better yet, it's in the fiction section.
I just wanted to make sure that something wasn't missing. Like, oh, this could be a clue. This weird thing. That's really all that I could think of.
Okay.
Anybody wants to give me suggestions? I'm not good with this sort of thing. Sorry.
Well, it sounds like both groups have sort of exhausted their own personal curiosity without further illumination of the subjects. So let's go to Zechariah then. Zechariah, which group have you decided to keep an eye on?
I don't know. Well, I think the Zetas, we've already got a pretty good bead on them. We know that they're up to something. We can always investigate them later. I'm gonna keep my eye on these weird people in the coats for now.
All right, the weird people in the codes. You can tell from a distance that they very much are aware that you're watching them too, and they'll sort of turn and sort of try to avoid you, and as if they're trying to hide something.
All right.
And of course, they'll head deeper into your building.
Zach is going to tail them while also attempting to be a little bit stealthy. So I guess I'll make an invasion roll here with some stealth.
Also, roll your observation, please.
Okay. Oof. Damn. Well, I guess now is a good as time as any to claim favored use on observation. I will take it for tailing people.
Okay, go ahead.
And I will re-roll.
Shadowing is a thing.
I will re-roll the mind dice. So that is a 7.
All right. So you get the distinct feeling that every angle you've been taking across this nearly open courtyard has just completely exposed you to their observation. And given that, you take a different path around rather than following directly in their footsteps. And you can see that they're sort of waiting around the corner, almost as if they were waiting for you. Would you have followed in their direct footsteps? But after a minute of nothing happening, you can see them sort of shrug and sigh to each other and sort of small talk a bit as they continue down the hallway. And in fact, they're going down the hallway, reading the different bulletin boards of the different professors. And eventually, they will actually stop in front of a door for Dr. Templeton, your professor.
Hmm. Alrighty. Let's see here. Well, it's like
with-
I'm not. It's like I don't really have a good scheme inside and eavesdrop on their conversation.
I mean, you could definitely get a little closer and try to hear it if you really want to.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to like take a like I assume there's like seats outside of his office for like people for like students to wait if he's like busy with somebody else.
Yeah, there's a couple chairs there.
Okay, I'm gonna take a seat in the chair and like just like sort of like grab like one of the brochures and like pretend to be reading, but I'm also gonna be listening in to see if I can overhear anything.
All right. As you approach, sort of the first thing you hear is like, "Wait a second! I thought he said he was going to be here today. These office hours says he's not even here on Sundays." It's like, this isn't the first time bad scheduling is. Wait, hold up. And they will stop and sort of look at you as you approach, stopping their own conversation. And take a look at you. And the bat will go ahead and approach, just ruffle his suit underneath his coat, and say, "Oh, hello there, student. Morning there. Might you know when Dr. Templeton will be in? Got a little business to talk to them about."
Zach is kind of shrug and be like, aside from his posted office hours, I don't really know what he might be up to. I'm sorry.
Huh. Well, he said he was gonna be here. Uh, Name's Arthur Bergman. Nice to meet you. And he'll reach out his hand to shake yours. And who are you?
Zach will give them his name and introduce himself as a student of psychology.
Oh, you're one of the students. And the cheetah will just kind of like pull out a cigarette, start lighting, and go, "Hey, didn't the last time we were here over the phone, didn't he say he was talking to some more students? Yeah, for the project. Yeah, he's told you about the project, right?"
He mentioned something about a project. He wasn't too forthcoming with it. I did a little bit of research for him, but I haven't really been informed what exactly it's about.
Ah, I see. I see. Well, hmm, well, if he already gave you some of the research, you already know it's about cognition, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of will center of the brain kind of sort of stuff. Uh, we're
Interesting
both
stuff.
from the federal government, in fact. We're funding the project. We're
Oh,
just here to
really?
check in on his research.
It's like
Um,
the federal government has an interest in this. I suppose it's classified. I'm not really allowed to ask why, but that's interesting.
well, of course not why, but I mean, university research is university research. Everyone gets to see the abstracts and all that.
I don't know. Mind over matter. It's certainly an interesting concept. How much belief can lead to certain extraordinary things happening.
They'll sort of look at each other and like the cheetah will go, "Hey, isn't that what the other kid said?" And he'll just sort of nod a little bit. Well, hopefully we'll be working together in the future. If your professor does decide to put you up for some of the research, well, be happy to hear your work.
I look forward to working with you, sir.
By the way, you got some good moves, by the way.
And Zach will kind of like lift his brows and be like, "I'm not." He'll sort of play coy and be like, "I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to, sir."
Well, I didn't say nothing. He'll pull out a cigarette. And you could actually have sort of a pleasant time there, and eventually your professor will arrive to have a meeting with them.
Okay. So like, I assume Zach is probably not going to be allowed to sit in on the meeting unless the professor invites him in as sort of a confidant. But
Well, this meeting should be private. You see, it's
yeah,
a part of the classified part of things. But
Hmm.
well, if you finish reading that article, maybe you'll find out about it next week.
well, fair enough. And
Uh,
I suppose Zechariah will excuse himself.
all right.
Now he has another thing to puzzle over. Why exactly is the federal government, of all people, interested in this research?
Mm-hmm. And of course, while you're doing that, Edmund, you're sort of in the library, sort of pondering over some more books, and Wanda has actually gone off to go and fetch a few more. Could you give me a mind observation?
Sure.
Let's see.
I'm sorry, for my personal notes, what was the name of the federal agent?
The bat is called Arthur Bergman,
Okay.
and the cheetah introduced himself
Heck.
as Maximilian Noakes. And that is your per observation check. All right, one success. Edmund, while you're researching, you can definitely hear that Wanda's actually talking to someone else in the library.
I'll lift my eyes up, giving her some space, but still not totally giving her free reign, like
Okay,
a
so you're
mom
gonna
at
like try
the.
to sneak on over or something?
Is she within sight?
No, she's actually behind like several shelves. You will have to move like to go and observe closer.
Yeah, I'll observe, but try to stay a little bit away, giving her
All
personal
right.
space, but make sure she's not totally defensive.
All right, give me your speed evasion. All right. 1 second, just taking a look at a couple things. Okay, that's good. All right, so you get closer and you can peer around and you can see a sort of rather large bull in like a leather jacket and a fraternity pin is actually busy talking to Wanda. And she appears to be sort of giggling at him and he's sort of like flexing off his muscles. And it seems actually like maybe they're having a good time.
He's a Zeta. Don't trust him. not that I'm actually there to advise you, but sorry, I'll stop metaing now.
What do you do?
I'm gonna be like a good parent and keep my distance, but make sure she doesn't get carried away. So at least in the wrong sense.
Right, right. So you'll observe for a bit, and she's just sort of like looking around, like behind her, and you can kind of hear like a, "Oh, I don't know," and you can hear him say, "Oh, it'll be fun. We can have some talks." Since you're not like getting close enough to like try to like directly listen in or anything, right?
I'm basically uh I'll like in front of them so that I'm close enough where if he tries to do anything stupid, I'm right there, but not close enough where I could just be blatantly see.
Okay. You'll see Wanda actually reach out and take his hand, and it looks like he's going to try leaving with her.
She's underage, right?
She's like 19.
Oh, okay, then never
Well, as
mind.
far as you can tell. Has anyone told you that she's 60?
No, no one has said anything about her age to me.
What are you doing?
I'm at a bit of a loss right now because I don't know how their life is like. Can you do observation on him to see if he seems nefarious or does he have like insidious that is
I
a
mean,
huge
that'd be
problem
like
that
a
other?
questioning thing, and you're not really talking to him.
No, I'm saying like does he have like a ring of whatever fraternity, if any, he's in?
Oh, yeah, he definitely does. He belongs to a Zeta Alpha Phi fraternity.
Oh hell no. Yeah, that's when I'm gonna be like, oh no, 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 no. And I'm just gonna casually like go around to like head them off like the aisle. I guess you said there we go.
Yeah, they're sort of making their way out of the library, and you're gonna intercept them.
Yeah, like oh look what I found. This might be something interesting.